Go live. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? What is up on this beautiful Thursday evening? I hope everything is fine. Everything in your life is going in the direction you want it to go. Welcome to the club of the high-value software engineers. Let me quickly do some shenanigans, some administration. Man, I'm confused. I was busy. Your Netflix of programming. That's exactly. Boom. Boom. It's all taken care of. All right. Amir, what is up? France, man. Hey. Parfait. Très bien. Très bien joué. But Mbappé? I don't know. What do you think, Amir? Tell me everything. Tell me everything. Arda, I really enjoy these winter nights with some quality content. What up, what up, welcome. Piotr, bows. I will bow for you to see my blinking ball. It is what it is. Too much testosterone. Then you get that shit. 4-1, I know. Amir, I watched the Belgians yesterday and I don't think we're gonna get far. Our time is over, unfortunately. Brett, yo, thanks for the videos, Anthony. I just started my first full-time Golang gig last Monday. Hey, man. The best of luck in your endeavors. All right, today we're gonna do some hacking. Well, hacking, it's a long time that I touched Apache Kafka. I did it in previous companies where we were creating exchanges, trading exchanges, and a very important aspect is if you're running microservices or any service in general, that they are in most of the cases they need to be high available, right? And normal websites, normal platforms do not need to be high available all the times, because if you have a CMS or something and a user wants to save his new title for his blog he's making, and your service goes offline, it's not big of a deal, right? Because then he needs to recreate his title, man. I mean, it's YouTube. I'm creating these videos on YouTube. It's daily shenanigans, right? YouTube is not highly available, I think. What the hell's going on there? Oh man, so many hassles. But if you make a trading exchange where people are basically these bots, these quant traders and even just normal people are placing orders, right? And let's say you place an order, and that order goes from the front end to the gateway, right? The gateway, the big gateway that will distribute these orders to the correct services, right? And for example, you have an order processor, and we're gonna try to mimic something we're gonna hack something very, very dirty together, right? Because it's just a demonstration purposes how you could use Apache Kafka. Is not a complete project, right? We cannot do that in that small time period we have. But let's say you have an order processor and the gateway is going to contact your order processor, but the order processor is down. You know what I mean? He's down. He doesn't want to work anymore. Somebody made a bug. You know what I mean? Somebody made a mistake. Some pointer shenanigans or something. I don't know. There is a mistake. Order processor is down, right? So then no orders can be processed, right? So that's a problem. So if you then have something like a queue system, like a message queue or a high available message queue like Apache Kafka, what happens is then that you can, instead of communicating with protobuffer or Thrift or whatever, you can read directly from a Kafka queue, right? So if you're down, these orders are going to get stacked, right? They're going to be in the queue, and if your order processor is back up, it can resume consuming from the queue and everything will be fine, right? And that's one use case, right? So your order processor can be down for 10 minutes, but the orders will be, the client can keep pushing these orders. Okay, 10 minutes is not ideal, I know, but you know what I mean? He can then resume back in a deterministic way. Another use case is, for example, a common use case is that your order book is completely broken, right? Something happened, data inconsistency, I don't know, this shit happens, right? It happens. So what you could do is then you can basically replay the whole day, right? The whole trading day. You made a mistake in your data or something, or another service, whatever, and you want to do some analytics. You can basically consume the whole day back from the Kafka queue, and then you can replay the whole day deterministically. It's amazing. That's Kafka. It's nice. All right, let me read some messages, and I'm gonna try to do that stuff, because I'm not a Kafka expert yet. All right, what's going on here? This is busy times here. Amir, yes. Miguel Pinto, hello from Portugal. What up, man? Hey, what did they do? The ports. Cristiano Ronaldo, CR7. What did he do? Sandeep, what is up? Arda, Amir, back again. Michelangelo, what up, man? Jamal, snowy Finland. It's snowing there, man. We in my country, we didn't see snow. What is that? Show me a picture. Show me a picture of snow. I don't know what it is. Exception. Shalom. Johannes. I'm smelling high value content. Yeah, baby. Insider. You guys are smelling. That's good. Nightbot. What is up, man? Benjamin Lara. I like your vid on Golang microservices. Cleared up a lot. Yeah, man. It's not a perfect... I mean... That's how I wrote all my microservices back in B-Mobile, in Belgica, and all other things, right? And in an ideal scenario, you can use GoKit, which is basically a framework where you can actually do more stuff, right? You could wrap your services in logging, in instrumentation, but also in a rate limiter and a load balancer, and you can even do client-side load balancing and all that good stuff. But that's already an advanced topic, and I don't want to take away all your dopamine. You know what I mean? It needs to be, it needs to be going smooth, right? Man, my eyes are, it's time to sleep. Azerbaijan. Kurshat, what up, man? Welcome. All right, the last message I'm going to read. Ukraine, what up? 3-2 Portugal. Nice. If someone hasn't rewound a huge Kafka queue yet, then you don't know big data hustle yet. Yeah, it is. Big data is data in general is an issue. It's not an issue, but it's nasty, right? Data is nasty. It comes in all kinds of formats and in sizes. And hey, that's why we have data engineers, right? Data engineers. These guys are doing that stuff, and all the DevOps. I'm not hassling with that thing, right? I'm just making a consumer and a producer, and I call it a day. And sipping margaritas on the beach. All right. So I'm going to copy paste today. We're going to copy paste. First of all, what I'm going to show you is I have this. Wait, why am I still in the center of attention? We can do the Zoomcast, or we can do this one. I don't know. Let make me small, right? I'm already big enough. Okay, cool. So I have these things already set up. Go mod, all that shebang. You know. And then we have a Docker Compose file. And basically, I just copy paste it. I don't know what's going on. I'm so sorry. It's just Docker composting, right? I just do this, and then I think I already tested this Docker PS, right? So we have 2 Docker containers running, the Kafka and the Zookeeper, which is I don't like Zookeeper at all, but hey, it works. But you don't want to hassle with Zookeeper, right? You don't want to hassle with Zookeeper. You don't want to stay away from Zookeeper. You know what I mean? Just stay away. It works, and if it works, it's fine. All right, Zookeeper. Cool. So that's already running. It's very simple, guys. You just copy paste this stuff. You can find it on the Docker hub, and then you do just the Docker compose shenanigans, right? And then it works out of the bat. I promise. I pinky swear. It's also the first time that something worked right off the bat. Okay, so what we're gonna do basically, we're gonna do a simple thing. It's a light stream, right? This decentralized poker stuff, it's very hard for my mind. And this is more a chill stream. We're gonna try some stuff. So what we're gonna try is basically, first of all, I'm gonna copy paste some stuff in so we can produce and consume from Kafka, see if that works. And then we're gonna basically make two separate programs, right? In two mains, and we're gonna run them, and then we're gonna shut down one, and then we're gonna put back on that one, and then we're gonna see you're gonna see why Kafka can be handy, right? Nothing too big, nothing too fancy. But if you in your job and they ask you to install a Kafka, to program a Kafka shenanigans, then you know, right? Then you know the basics. Sergey, what up, man? Sergey, high value engineer, by the way. Why don't you use a Red Panda? I don't know, man. It has no zookeeper. Yeah, that's a good question. Guys, listen. I'm a systems programmer. I do. To be honest, I don't know this stuff. Red Panda, never heard of, man. A long time. Hey, anyway, let me quickly open up internet and let me copy some stuff. Right, so in Kafka, I'm gonna use this thing. I remember back in my day it was Sarama, the Shopify Sarama package, but now they have like, I don't know, Confluent stuff. I don't know what happened with that thing. Well, I'm gonna use this one. You can use whatever. It's the same principle, right? So the first thing we need to have is a Kafka producer. Let me show the chat. Good shot, man. I'm inspired by you. How long have you been using Go? Probably one of the longest. And it's no lie. It's no lie. I started Go when it was in beta still. It was in beta, and I convinced my CTO back in the days. My CTO back when I was working in a startup in Belgium, Bubble Post. You can look that up. It's all facts. And we had this traffic management system that I built in PHP, but it didn't scale. Then I moved to Node.js because it was hipster. That was back in the day that Node was just coming. It was getting traction. Right now, Node is the de facto. But back then, Node was hipster technology. So we ported to Node, but the problem was we didn't have async await and all that stuff. So I needed to do a lot of waterfall, closure, this pyramid scheme, right? A Ponzi scheme in Node.js. And then I saw on YouTube a video about Golang. And I said, yeah, that's what I need, right? That's what we need. Garbage collected, statically typed language made by Google. What else can go wrong? You know what I mean? And that's what I used. I convinced my CTO because he was back in the day. Don't watch the stream. I'm not going to say his name, but he was a little bit of trash. It was a trash CTO. He didn't know anything. And I could basically sell him dead cats if I want, right? I could even say that we're going to rewrite it in Haskell, and that was perfectly fine. So I wrote everything in Go, and they're still using Go, by the way. They're still using Go. So it was basically 2014, 2015. Yes. Okay, cool. Let's go. Mans are cold. All right. So we need a Kafka producer, right? It's very simple. I'm going to copy paste this and modify this, right? Because, hey. Oh, man, so many tabs. It's crazy. Okay, I'm so going to paste this in here. Going to save it, and hopefully it imports it. Yes. Look at this, right? Okay, so we have this Kafka producer. First, we're going to make things work, right? And then we're going to make things better. And if you have time, we're going to make things fast. Is that a deal? That's how I roll. What is this? Socket get hostname. I'm just copy this from the documentation. Socket get hostname. There is no socket, man. What are you talking about? What's going on here? There is no socket. Nobody knows what it is. So we're going to say something, right? Something. And I hope it still works, right? The next thing we're going to do is basically, I think you can have this high available cluster, but we don't roll clusters. Host 1. That should be localhost, I think. I'm pretty sure it is because I tested it already. But how did he actually format this stuff? Look at this. This is trash. Right? Like this. Yes, then we have this P, which is a producer. An error that is... Yeah. And then... was exit. Who is doing this? Right, let's do a fmt print f, and I'm gonna do a percentage plus v, new line, p. Just like that. Go run. May not go. Let's see. All right, that's working. All right, now we're gonna see how we need to produce. Let's open up this back again. Asynchronous writes in Go, yada yada. To be honest, I never read this stuff. I never read this unless I come into issues. So I just copy paste, right? That's what we learned. That's what we do. That's how we roll. A delivery chain with an underscore, which is basically already breaking all the Go idiomatic approaches. To produce asynchronous, you can use. Anyway, we're gonna copy this and see what it is, right? All right. Delivery chain. We're gonna refactor this a little bit. We're gonna say deliver. I'm gonna do it like that. Kafka event. I have no clue, guys, about these things. These configurations. Like I said, it doesn't really matter. First, make it work, and if you wanna do this for production, you just need to look into in depth what these things are doing. For now, it just really doesn't matter. All right, what is this? We need a topic. Let's make one. We're gonna say topic is gonna be GG. No. It's gonna be the high value software engineers. And of course, for the people that are not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, comment, all the shebang. I need to do that from my sponsor, which is myself. What's going on with this topic? What's going on here? Cannot use topic as string. Okay, it needs a reference to a string. Awkward. And then we have some bytes. That's basically the payload, right? You could say foo, right? Then we have this delivery chain. It's going to be this deliver chain. Like this. And then what's going on here? This is so weirdly formatted. This is better. Okay, this error. Yeah, we could do an if error, but I think it's nasty, so I'm gonna do. We gotta do this, right? If error not nil, then we're gonna say log fatal. This error, right? This. And then we need to do something with this delivery chain. That basically this delivery chain is for to make sure that it's delivered, right? You could basically just produce and just call it a day, but you're not sure that it's produced. If you want to be sure, the delivery channel is your man or woman, whatever you prefer. So we're gonna say that the probably an event, if I remember, gonna be a delivery channel, and we need to read from this thing. So we're gonna do this. And we could actually copy this, paste it in here, and then also print out this E. What does it? String, maybe? And of course, we should do this maybe yeah, let's do it like this. It's fine. It's fine. It's all good, guys. No worries. No panic. Something. What is that? It's a client ID. Producer 1. High value software engineer 0. That's basically our topic. Yeah, okay, fine. Kushat Kaya, by the way, I'm using also Vim emulation everywhere in JetBrains IDE VS Code and also NVim itself. Yeah, you could use NVim inside VS Code. Isn't that amazing? Look at this. And you can actually, can I open up screens? I can't. What? No, that's impossible. Actually? Oh, what am I doing? This is not. Anyway, it's fine. It's fine. Let's not do that. All right, so we have this producer, and I think it's producing messages. I hope. So now we're gonna make a consumer, right? Because we have a producer, we have a consumer, and we're gonna now make it in one file, right, to test. And then we're gonna make two files, and we're gonna separate the producer from the consumer to replicate two services, right? To replicate two services that are basically communicating over a Kafka queue instead of over gRPC, JSON, Drift, and whatever, right? You can communicate over Kafka. And it happens. It happens a lot. I did it. 3 companies I worked for, they used Kafka to be high available to replay stuff. It's basically your safety guard, right? If something is going wrong, you have Kafka queue and you can replay and everybody's safe, right? Synchronous writes. Consumer. Consumer. Consume. Okay, cool. Easy, right? You copy this. This is gonna be a spaghetti. Arms are heavy. The way that this is formatted, man, they need to do something at the documentation. Somebody make a Reddit post about this. I'm gonna copy this error thingy like this, paste it in. Then we have a consumer. So now we need to basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna spin this up in a GoFunk real quick. In a GoFunk like this, right? Boom. And then we're gonna basically spin up our consumer before the producer. So this is our producer stuff. Let's make some space, but the format will clear that actually. Kusat Anthony, are you using nvim inside VS Code? I just open up my terminal, man, and then I do nvim inside of this thing, and then I can open up main. But I cannot. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, it doesn't have any config. That's a problem. Doesn't matter. Alright, yeah, this consumer. Then I'm gonna copy one more thing. So it's a for loop, ev, consumer poll, and then type. Okay, I think I can make that one. So then we're gonna say for. Then we're gonna say the event is gonna be consumer poll. Not quite sure. 1000, 100. Let's follow the rules. And then we're gonna switch on this EV type, and it should be actually E, maybe like this, right? And then we're gonna say case Kafka. Is it a pointer? Yes. Kafka dot man, I cannot remember these things. Message, right? FMT printf percentage, I don't know, v maybe, plus v, new line, e, value. What is this? Value? So probably bytes, right? Is that? Yeah, it's bytes. Message represents a Kafka message. All right, buddy. All good. So we could do, actually what we could do is a percentage s. Oh shit, god damn it. I just hear my washing machine that's dumb. So I need to put it in the dryer, but hey, it can wait. What's going on here? Did I make a mistake? What's going on? Expected one expression. Oh yeah. What's going on? I'm confused. I don't know what's going on. I can't see it. Syntax error. Some stupid mistake, and you guys probably see it, but I don't. Oh, what am I doing here? Alright, I see, I got it. Lou, could you create videos use of gRPC framework? Yeah, I have some. I have a video about gRPC. It's a stream. It's a past stream. The latest episode of the microservice shenanigans. There we are. The first episode was create a microservice with JSON transport, which basically kind of the same what I did today, the video today. And the next episode was basically the same microservice, but we also, on top of the JSON, we also added gRPC, so you could communicate with gRPC and with JSON at the same time, the same service. Remove the comma. Yeah. I see. It's all right. This is this. And maybe we need to copy this and paste it and make a Kafka error, I guess. Copy this, paste it in, boom, and then maybe a V. and then delete the whole shebang and say E. Not quite sure if this is gonna work. Wait, let us basically make this consumed message from the queue. Is that a thing? Alright, so we have this delivery channel. What are we gonna do with this guy? Maybe print it out. Actually, we don't care. Do we need to... Yes, we need to basically... Wait. What is this consumer actually doing? Okay, we printed out. It's fine. It's all good. Let's do LN. We don't care. Okay, but I'm basically a little bit confused because I think we need to subscribe to a topic, right? Did we forgot that thing? Oh yes. Didn't. Yada yada, and then we're gonna say this one. It's an error, which is crazy. Subscribe. Do we have something else? Do we have some single topic? Yeah. Where's null? What is null actually? What is this? A rebalance callback. Oh yeah, it's basically when it's rebalancing, you could place a callback, but that's advanced, right? That's for the high value Kafka engineers. So this is an error. Oh, man, these errors, man. Let's handle this guy. It's looking nasty, right? Are we hacking something or what? Yes, Flamour, we are hacking Kafka. No, we are making something with Apache Kafka, and I'm trying to bootstrap, right? Scaffold things out and mean, and then we're gonna make it clean. But you can see it's a lot of shenanigans going on, right? A lot of shenanigans going on. And if I would create something, I would make it easier. This is, I don't know. Look at this, man. Look at this. Delivery channel, that's fine. We're consuming. Where is the subscribe topic? That's fine. Okay, this is going to be a problem, right? These guys here. So we're going to say it's going to be a local host. And we don't need this guy. Delete till this. And this group ID is foo. And this client ID. Is that the same thing? I have no clue. Let's make it also foo. You never know. Alright, it's time to run this thing and see what's going on. Wait. Before we're gonna do this, we're gonna say for. Actually, we're gonna say for. The question is, here we're gonna wait until this delivery channel. Can we do this, man? Fuck it. Yeah, so basically in this, if you do it like this, and you're basically gonna wait until it's confirmed, it's delivered, and then you're basically gonna send the next one. Not quite sure what this delivery channel actually, yeah, doesn't matter. Kushat, can you talk a bit about learning new stuff? Well, that's exactly what we're doing right now. I have no clue what's going on, and it doesn't need to be. You don't need to know what's going on. You just need to infer. It's very important to infer things, right? And just look at the compiler. So we're gonna do a for loop here, but what I want to do, first of all, is a sleep, right? We're not gonna do this at the speed of light. We're gonna say time, seconds, times. And by the way, Kuchat, and when advent of code is coming, I'm gonna do that stuff, right? So we're gonna do all these challenges on stream. I have no clue what's going on, and we're gonna solve them, right? That's basically new stuff coming up, and we don't know what to do, and we're gonna try to tackle these problems in a certain way. Is it gonna be the best way? I don't know. I don't care, as long as it's solved, right? As long as it's solved, and then after that, maybe you can make it better. But the first, it's very important aspect is make it work, and then make it better. and then make it faster. And a lot of people are doing it the other way, right? First they make it fast, then they make it better, and then they make it work. But that's not a good idea. All right, we're gonna sleep 3 seconds or something, right? And then we're gonna see what this delivery channel actually does. I have no clue. Go run. No logging at all. All right. Market 1. Ah, yeah, that's my old one. That's my old one. Ah, it's working. It's working. It's still there. I was trying this real quick before stream to see if everything, because sometimes I don't want to hassle with this configuration on stream, because you know that it could take 1 hour to make things work if it's not working. It's nasty, right? But luckily it worked from the first time. All right, so that's working. Cool. So, right, so we need to test this a little bit better, because Foo won't tell us anything. Yeah, good shot. I listened to your talk about how I was always using one big PHP file and writes everything there and makes some money. Yeah, it is what it is. Like, Peter Levels is a very interesting guy. I don't think he has any coding background. And his companies makes a lot of million, right? He has Nomad List, he has all... It's a very inspiring guy, which I recommend to follow or read something from him. And he makes these startups himself. He bootstraps everything. And the only thing he does is basically just a single index PHP file and plain old school JavaScript with jQuery, right? Just like the old days. That's what he's doing. And it doesn't matter, because his things are working, kinda, right? It's not, he has not the best UIs, it's not the cleanest, but it's working. And that's because this guy is solving problems, right? He's solving a problem. He's finding somewhere a market fit. He solves that problem very quick. People paying him, and then he can basically make it better over time. More features over time. And he's making money. And a lot of developers are basically teach the wrong way, right? They teach you need to code, it needs to be clean, you need to have a nice folder structure, OOP, TDD, all that fucking garbage. It's a scam. Although it can help you sometimes. That's true. It's not always a scam. It depends on how you use it, right? And when you use it. But the main clue to take away here is that the money is being made by solving problems, and money is not being made by being a know-it-all, Mr. Know-it-all, right? In every team, there is a Mr. Know-it-all, you know? On my videos, there is always a Mr. Know-it-all. I was talking with my girlfriend last night. I posted a video, and before I went to sleep, I watched a comment, and I saw a guy. And I told her, I said, honey, I was making a video, and by the time I was writing the code, I thought, people are gonna complain about this. And what happened? People complain about it. And I explicitly told in the video, I said, guys, this structure is not concurrent. You know what I mean? It's not concurrent. In production, you will have problems. And still people need to be know-it-all, and they need to, you know what I mean? But they will never make money. They will just earn their developer salary, and that's it. Okay. What I'm gonna do here is basically I'm gonna make I'm gonna say an order producer, right? We're gonna mock things out so we're gonna have an order producer. We're gonna mimic some kind of an exchange shenanigans. An order producer that will produce orders, right? And then we will have an order processor that will process orders, right? And the main goal is that if the order processor is down, that the order producer can still produce orders, which basically mimics clients or quant trading algorithms pushing orders. And if the order processor is down, the order producer still can produce. And when the order processor comes back up, he can consume from the queue when he left off. That's the mean of the goal. That's the most common use case you will ever use. Do you have a link to Levels IOTA? I will. I will put it on my Discord if you're there after stream. Ice Bear, give me some. Stop playing. What were you playing today, Ice Bear? You were playing. You were playing a game. Not quite sure what it was. I think it was Call of Duty or something. No, or something else. Stop playing that game. Other producer is going to be a struct. Like this. We're going to say it's going to have a producer, right? It's going to have a producer, which is going to be a pointer to a Kafka. Producer, is that? Yes, right. That's this. Maybe we should have a topic. Is that? It's going to be a string. Right. We're going to make a new order producer. We need to have a producer actually. P. Kafka producer topic string. Order producer like this. Fine. Return. Producer is going to be P, and the topic is going to be topic, right? Right. That's like I always do. I'm trying to make some kind of a realistic scenario, right? Kinda, right? So you get the point. You get the point, right? Because doing this, you don't know how to embed them in structs and yada yada. So we're going to do that. So we're going to make a new order producer. That's fine. And then we're going to say func OP, which I was in League of Legends back in the day. I was OP. Then we're going to say order producer. Actually, I don't like producer. Order placer. Order placer, right? Change my mind. I'm the Bob Ross of my painting, so I can do whatever I want, right? I'm gonna call it a placer. Because otherwise it's maybe confusing. Although he's gonna produce. Place order. How are we gonna do this? We're gonna say it's gonna have an order type. It's gonna be... What I do, guys, I do sometimes this, right? I do this, tip. But, for example, yeah. It's going to be a string. Why? Because type is basically a reserved keyword. So I do this. Am I a bad person by doing that? But we will say order type, right? And then we're going to say, what's going on here? And then we're going to say a size, right? It's going to be, it should be a float 64 or even actually, but we're going to make it an int. Okay? Just for the sake. And I should return an error maybe, right? So this producer can be basically there. Deleting initiated. Ice Bear. You were on track, man, with Python. You were on track. Scale up, man. Make something cool. Think about something you want to make. Think about a problem people have. Try to solve it with code and sell it or something, right? I don't know. Maybe for your friends. I have no clue. Maybe a program that can detect if League of Legends is still installed on your computer and delete it automatically. What do you think? Yeah, so we have a producer. Where is this guy? So we're gonna refactor the whole shebang here. So we're gonna delivery channel. Wait, what do we have here? Oh man, this is these guys, man. They making me. I'm gonna copy the whole shebang here. We're gonna say this. You're gonna say R. You could do this if R, but then it's gonna be nasty, right? So we're gonna do it like it was. We're gonna say P. That's going to be an OP producer produce. It's going to be OP topic pointer for I don't know what reason it is. The payload. We're going to make a payload. Byte payload. You will see what I'm going to do, I think. Or no. Wait. I'm going to make a payload here because it needs to be bytes, right? It needs to be bytes. Normally you would have, if you want to send a struct over Kafka, that's possible, but then you need to encode it into bytes, right? You could use, a lot of people using protobuf, right? So I would recommend using a protobuffer, decode your structure to a protobuffer, and send the protobuffer over Kafka, so any other service can consume that message in a protobuffer format, because it could be that you're writing this, I don't know, an order placer or a gateway or whatever in Golang, but it could be most of the time in these companies, they will have old school systems, Scala, Java, Python stuff, so maybe Node.js, and they will also consume some services that do need this for data aggregation, right? They want not only for your service to be high available, also, and this what I'm telling you is legit industry standards. Also, the data team, the data analytics team, they will consume from a topic to, I don't know, to use that data for their recommendation engine or something, and they are consuming in Python, right? So protobuffer is basically has a library for every single language on the fucking planet Earth. So do it in protobuffer, and everybody in your team will be so thankful. That's why my traps are so huge, because I'm sitting like always tense, right? That's why I have these traps, these big traps, because I don't know, I'm cramping, right? Just see myself in the camera. Sorry for off-topic things. So yeah, protobuffer, but you could also do a GOP encoding and whatever, right? Or just make it a byte slice, whatever. Oh, now we need this thing. This delivery channel. I don't like this delivery channel, to be honest. We're gonna say delivery channel here, man. Delivery. Why is this? A Chen? Kafka event? Point? No. Kafka event. Delete this here. Delivery channel. We cannot delete. Go back. Delivery channel here. Then I can delete this. And then I can paste it. Delete this. That's fine. OP delivery channel. Right. Probably maybe a better way to do this. But hey, it is what it is, man. It's gonna work. We can refactor these things, and you can maybe as an exercise you can play around with it. Later on after stream or something, and see what you can do with it. So OP, that's this, and then if we are done, we're gonna actually return null, right? All right, we need to hurry. So we have a value that's gonna be a payload. We're gonna say that the format, because we need to make this in bytes, so we're gonna say fmts printf. How are we gonna do this? Let's make this %s, and then we're gonna say the size. That's gonna be d, like this. A new, no new line. We don't care. All right, it's gonna be an order type and the size. Just and then we're gonna make the payload here, and that's gonna be just simple. It's gonna be a slice of bytes. What's going on here? Slice of bytes, and put in the format with our order, which is not the format you want, but for the sake of this. Right, and we make it clean by saying a var here. This, and this. Hop, and then you have a nice... That's what I recommend to Go developers. Instead of making these infer thingies with column equal. If you have a lot of these guys, make them a nice var. Wrap them in a var. So they will be formatted, and it's very clear to see for people reading your code. It's also an industry... A lot of high-value Golangers do this. So I choose Go, throw away Laravel. What would you do if you were in my shoes? Depends what you want to make, Kurshat. If you tell me what you're making or trying to make, then I can tell you if it's a good idea or not. David Douglas, found you on YouTube about a week ago. Love your stuff, man. Just popping in to say keep up the awesome vids. Thanks, man. Thanks, David. Welcome to passing by, to do this drive-by of goodness. Thanks a lot. Oh, this code looks so nasty, but it is what it is. This Golang, we cannot do anything about it. It's the way this library is set up. You could make this actually cleaner, like this, right? You could do this, and then this and this. That's a little bit better, but still. Maybe you could do this. No, that sucks. Okay, that's placeholder. Yes, that's fine. So what we could do, we have the shenanigans. This is our consumer. We can leave him there for a couple more minutes. Let's delete this guy, right? Then we're gonna say that our producer. Do we have an error? Error is gonna be, no, we don't have that. New order placer. OP. What do we need? A producer, which we actually made. Damn, that's already P. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. P. And then we need a topic, which is going to be the high value software engineers. Okay, cool. Then we can say 4. We can do the same thing, but a little bit cleaner. And then we're going to move out the consumer in another file. Another may.go, another binary, right? What are you building? Can you give someone more context? Yeah, so we are using Apache Kafka to basically to demonstrate what it can do, but especially to demonstrate how you can make services high available, right? And with high available, I mean, we are mimicking like a real use case scenario. We are mimicking an exchange, a trading exchange that has, for example, a gateway that receives messages, that receives orders from clients. And that gateway is basically gonna communicate with a microservice, for example, an order processor, which will basically take the order and will process it. And then it will basically, I don't know, it will store it or put it back on another queue or something, right? So what happens if the order processor goes down? By using Apache Kafka, it will still, the order placer, right? The clients can still place orders, although the order processor is completely broken. But thanks to Kafka, it will queue up these messages. And then when the order processor comes back up, he can resume consuming from the latest message he consumed. So nothing will be broken. There will just be a tiny little delay due to technical issues, but people will not feel it, right? They will not feel it. Although in trading, but hey, you know what I mean? That's Kafka. That's communication over Kafka, so you have your services high available. And you can also use Kafka for replaying stuff and all that good stuff, right? Color scheme. It's VS Code. Exclamation mark VS. Oh, it is. I was underestimating myself. It's Groovebox hard. Time sleep. What's going on here? We're gonna say second, right? We're gonna say second 3, right? That's fine. And then we're gonna say OP. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do this because I need an iterator actually. Place orders. We're gonna say gonna be a market order or something. I have no clue. Market order, and the size is gonna be Y. Something like that. Is this an error? Probably it is. You're gonna place an order here. If R is not nil, you're gonna lock. Actually, you're gonna lock fatal out just for the sake of. And then we're gonna consume. Gonna sleep 3 seconds. And we're gonna do it again. Then we have our consumer, which we're gonna extract out. We're gonna put that in another service very soon. So what we could, yeah, that's fine. Let's try to see what's going on here. All right, we just all the messages from the queue from the producer. Yeah, it's fine. Right. So the reason why I'm doing not random order sizes is because now we can actually see the incrementation of it, right? So we are producing, we are consuming. So if we stop, this, right? If we stop this, and instead of consuming, right, you're gonna say go func, and we're gonna just return here, just for the sake of, right? So now it's not gonna consume. So if we go run may.go, right, what you're gonna see is that nothing. It's probably gonna consume the latest messages from before, but we can't. So now we have no consumer. We are basically producing every couple seconds. And if we now return this, delete this return, and go run may.go again, then normally it should produce some. So consume some messages back again that we produced, but hey. Right, so we have this latest one, and then you see what happened. We basically consumed all these. You saw that's boom. Consuming everything here, right? Every delay, that's fine. So you see there is no missing. It's not missing anything, right? He's not missing anything at all. That's fine. So what's going on here? Close this shenanigans. Yes. How consumer is keeping the state? It's not shown in the API. No idea. Consumer is keeping the state because it's consuming from Kafka. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, Osago. Not quite sure. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is basically we're gonna create a new folder here. We're gonna call this processor. Yeah, processor is fine. And then we're gonna make a new file. It's gonna be a main.go, right? So we can run two binaries, right? So we can compile two binaries. We're gonna say package main func main this, and this. It's already done. And can you guys see this on the other screen? Yeah, we're gonna open up this other file here, which is also a main. Alright, that's fine. Is there a way to persist in Kafka? What I'm gonna say is probably not right, but I think you can persist, but that's not what the Kafka persist until it's being read off, but I think you can also persist it and make it persist for a certain period of time, right? There are a lot of configuration options, and to be honest, guys, if you want to be a Kafka specialist, there is a lot of stuff going on. With the company I worked, they had a DevOps engineer basically specialized in Kafka to configure all that stuff, right? Telling us, okay, you need to do this, you need to use that, that's the configuration we're going to use, that's the heartbeat, all that stuff, right? So I'm not that technically schooled yet, because I don't need to be, right? But there are a lot of things. You can do a lot of cool stuff, because most of the time in Kafka there are going to be a couple services reading from the same queue, right? Like I said, you're going to process an order to... you're going to place an order to your order processor, but also a lot of other services will consume that in a microservice environment, because, for example, the data analytics team will consume to do their part, right? That's the beauty of microservices, right? Because the data analytics code for a recommendation engine, or for analytics for, I don't know, for the CEO or something, I have no clue, or for the board, they will have their own service, which basically is completely separated from the rest. Nobody needs to communicate with that service. Nobody knows what that service is. It's a black box for the data team, and the only thing the data team does is just spinning up a Kafka consumer, consuming from a topic, and they can call it a day and sip margaritas on the beach. That's the beauty of using microservices with these queues, if you know what I mean. Yeah. What we're gonna do here? Yeah, we're not gonna make this in a strict, to be honest. We're gonna just do it dirty in main, right? So what we're gonna do here is, like I said, this stream is basically just to give you an idea, because today was themed a microservice day with the video, and then you can see that you, instead of using a JSON transport, you could use for certain parts in your microservice architecture, you could use Kafka, especially for certain kind of goals, right? And to be honest, another tip I'm gonna give to you: most of the time you don't need microservices, especially not if you want to make your own startup of your own project. Don't touch microservices. Leave them where they are. Don't get involved. Throw them away. They cause more pain. They cause more harm than they will do good. They cause a lot of technical debt. I see companies making a mistake. I made a mistake. So you don't need to make the mistake, right? Like I said, there are guys using a single PHP file, a single server on DigitalOcean. And if you need to scale, you can scale horizontally with the load balancer, more servers, scale up your RAM, or use AWS with your database or something, and it will take care, right? Don't hassle with Kubernetes. Don't hassle with all these fancy tools. Keep it like it was The biggest companies were built 10, 15 years ago with simple tools, straight to the point, and they made it, right? Of course, these companies are now in such a big scale that they come into issues because there are a lot of teams, a lot of people. They work with over 1,000 engineers. You cannot work with over 1,000 engineers in a single repository on a single project. That's a problem, right? That's why these things are invented. Not for people that want to make, not for lone wolves that want to make money, not for us actually, unless you're going to work in such a company. But knowing these things is important, because if you have an interview question, you can basically make people sit down if you know all that stuff, right? This is just a small little tips. I made these mistakes myself. Consumer. That's what we need, right? We're gonna yoink this guy. Actually, to be honest. Yeah. Did I yoink everything? Yes. Look at this. We don't have a topic. That's a problem. Can we do this? This is dirty. Look at this. It actually doesn't. This doesn't work, guys. Don't do this. I'm stupid. Of course not. We're gonna say topic. It's gonna be high value software engineers, right? And then we're gonna make. We take the pointer of the reference, the memory of this topic. String, what's going on? Doesn't need to be. Okay, in subscribe you don't need to be. Okay, cool, that's fine. Actually, let's make it clean. And subscribe you don't need to be, unless as a producer we need to have this reference, right, to this topic for some reason. Where is it? Oh, it's above here. We don't need to. I don't know what's going on. I thought we need to. Oh, here. I see. Here, topic. OP topic, right? Not quite sure why that is. I try to think why they do it, but I cannot find a solution. David Douglas, 100% correct. You're right. Kafka is a stream that has a pointer. You can move the pointer backward. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly, David. You have this pointer pointing to a certain message, and you can actually replay to a pointer, replay it completely. You could do a lot of stuff, and it's very complex. But this is the basic thing, and yeah. For the companies I worked for, the Exchange, although they don't have a very large microservice setup, but this Kafka is so important in the order books, right? It's so important because you need that. I don't think you can run an Exchange without Kafka. Or some other a Kafka replacement, because you need that so hard, because yeah, you need it, and you need it between every service, right? So you can replay on shenanigans, right? Ask Sam Bankman-Fried. He will probably use Kafka. Michael Pinto in Kafka. Yeah, okay, cool that you're answering this guy. That's fine. All right, cool. But guys, like I said, if you want to be a Kafka specialist, hey, don't ask me, because I am certainly none. The only thing I can is try to make these things work. And if I need to be a specialist, then I will. Then you just read. Right? Read the documentation, maybe some digging in, some playing around, and you can figure it out yourself, right? That's not big of a deal. Oh man, I'm so confused. What I was doing? Oh, copy pasting stuff. Yeah. Okay, so we have this thing, this consumer. He's gonna process. We're gonna say processing order like this, because it's an order processor. Right, that's fine. Let's go. Delete this consumer. Do we still have this guy? Yes, we have. Let's delete this guy. Right, this topic. that's the topic we placed here. That's good. That's fine. So we can delete that. Normally, guys, if you want to make something, you need to have some configuration, right? If you want to boot something up, parse some flags so you can provide the topic or read the topic from an environment, right? Before you gonna comment and pitchfork me, then I'm basically hardcoding everything. Hey, guys, like I said, it's just for the sake of, right? And by the way, this is exactly how I would do it if I need to do it for a company, right? Exactly the same. That's how I'm gonna start. So if you think about how you do things in production or in companies at your job, like this, I swear to God. Just like this, you just try to make it work, and then you see what's going on, and then you move things around. Because once you have something that's working, you see you're producing, you're consuming, everything is working fine. That's good. You have that state, you know where the state is. Then you move things out, right? Then you're gonna make a structure, you put that in, and then you're gonna make it clean and think about how things should work. And you iterate and iterate and iterate, and that's how you learn along the way. You come across issues, you solve them, and at a certain point of time, at a couple of days or maybe a couple of hours, you have a nice working thing, which you can test in a test environment or something. Yeah, then probably your DevOps team will come and you'll say it's too slow, or there is something wrong, or whatever of the topic needs to change, and then you're gonna provide a way to provide configuration so they can change the topic themselves, so you don't need to hassle around with that and all that stuff, right? It's a gradual process that happens, right? I will do the same thing. 1 hour, okay, cool. So this is that. Then we have this new order placer. We're gonna place $1,000. Fine. Okay, cool, that's good. And then this guy, yeah. So what we could do is basically, where are we? Wait, let me open up my terminal here. Let's go into processor. Yeah, like this. And you're gonna say go. Are we actually blocking? Not sure. Not quite sure. Okay, so we're blocking. It could be that it's reading. Yeah, it's reading. This message 13 was basically some relics from the previous boot up, right? Because we closed the program and probably was something in the queue yet, and that's not being read yet, right? So let's do this. Let's do it again. So now the message queue is completely cleared. Read it from empty, like this, right? So our order processor is waiting for orders, and now we're gonna jump in here, and we're gonna run this guy. But you can imagine, right, how this works over the network. Just the same thing, right? It's just the same thing. They are two complete different binaries. Probably not a binary because you're running it in main .go. Not quite sure what it does, but you can understand the clue. If I was running this processor on another machine in China, far away from my place, it would also work, right? The same thing, the exact same thing. So we're gonna place this. Actually, what I'm gonna do, it's probably already red. Yeah, you see it already red one. That's fine. I'm gonna make it a little bit cleaner here so we have some logging. Order placer. And I need to see that I do not code in my window because my font size is much bigger. So I hope you guys like it. Which is a bit nasty because one function fits on my whole screen. It's crazy. Placeholder. We're gonna say yada yada yada. And in this case, we are sure that it's placed, so we could say fmt printf placed order. How do you write queue? Something like that. Percentage %s. What we're gonna do? Yeah, we can do the format, right? Just like that. That's fine. And a little bit of space. Like this, I like it. Go run may not go. Okay, it starts again from 1, right? That's, oh my goodness, we didn't have a new line. Always gets me, right? This new line always gets me. Let me do this. Boom. All right, so it's restart. I know. So this guy is basically right. So what we could do now, so basically, to give you guys an idea, so we have these two services, right? For example, okay, this order placer doesn't make any sense, right? Normally it's a client that basically placing orders. Maybe that's a bot, a client bot. I don't know, just use your imagination. What we're gonna do is we're gonna... So it's processing these orders. That's nice, right? But it stopped processing orders. Kafka is broken. Look at this. Or, I think it's my terminal. Yeah, it's just this garbage Windows shenanigans. So we're gonna quit this guy, right? So we're gonna stop him. The order processor is completely broken. It's down. Somebody made a mistake. Somebody did not watch my channel. He's not a high-value engineer. And but you see that the bots can still place these orders. Everything is fine. So to say, they don't know that what's going on, right? They have no clue. So we fixed our problem real quick. The DevOps team, everybody's on fire, right? And then they put back on this this processor, and hopefully I've configured Kafka in a good way, so it's gonna read from 16. It's not reading anymore. The company is going bankrupt at the moment. Yeah. Ah, I see. It reads back this order. I think that's something you could... you see what happened? Right? He reads all the orders, so it's processing all the orders. Everybody's happy. The order book is consistent. Nobody noticed a thing. The problem is, I think this is a configuration because we processed here the last order, but then we processed it again. And I think that's a configuration file in Kafka you could do. Not quite sure, but I'm sure that it's a configuration thing, but no clue how we need to do that. So that's fine. That's basically Apache Kafka, right? In a nutshell. The most common use case. And of course, like I said, it could be like a data team, right? You have this order processor. Wait, let's do that, right? Let's do that. We have some time left. So what's going on here? This terminals. So let's close everything. So the next is we're gonna have a data team. New folder. We're gonna say data team. The data team, Python, but we're gonna make it in Go because you're gonna laugh at my Python. New file. We're gonna say main.go. Main.go, yeah. So data team, you're gonna copy something from the processor, not from the processor, from the main.go. Wait, I'm confused. What's going on here? So many mains. Too many mains, man. Yeah, I'm gonna copy the whole shebang. Not quite sure what's gonna happen if I make multiple consumers. Maybe it's a configuration setting we need to do. I have no clue. We will see. All right. The 15 was logged the first time, but the service didn't send the acknowledgement. Okay, see. Michael Pinto, thanks. Yeah, makes a lot of sense what you say. So I'm going to repeat your question because sometimes I rewatch my streams a little bit to see what I'm doing. And I have the very bad habit, and I'm completely aware, is to read somebody's question. Or I stop in the middle of that question and answer it. So the other people have no clue what's going on. Or I go super fast. Like, for example... I say, Michael Pinto, Anthony GG, the 15 was logged in the first. And yeah, it's true. You see, that's what I'm doing a lot. And I need to be aware. And this, you see, now I caught myself doing it. So I'm going to do it the correct way. Michael Pinto, Anthony GG, the 15 was logged the first time, but the service didn't send the acknowledgement back to Kafka. So when you started again, it picked up from 15. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for that, Michael Pinto. Thank you for that. It's so hard. If I look at the chat and back to the screen, where did I left off, guys? You know how hard it is, right? I think I copied something, or I was planning. This is the data team. Yeah, the data team. Data team reading the order for, I don't know, analytics there. I don't know, machine learning. Not quite sure what they're gonna do. So we're gonna subscribe to the same topic. The question is, I'm not quite sure what's gonna happen. I'm not quite sure what's gonna happen. How can I do this? Wait, let me... Wait, I'm not that familiar with these VS Code terminals. So we have this Go Kafka thing here, right? I'm gonna... Can I make a new thing? All right. Okay, cool. That's insane. So this is our producer, right? And this guy we're gonna CD into data team. I never use these multiple terminals, by the way. I saw some people doing that on a video, and I thought, maybe I should try it. Data team. And the reason why I don't use them is because I have no key binding to cycle between them. That's a problem. I don't like to use my mouse. That's probably the thing. Maybe it's going to consume some messages. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's okay. It's fine. So let's clear it out real quick, right? Okay, so the data team is reading. That's fine. Then we have... this is our producer. We're going to say... Wait, we're going to also start this guy. If you click the square with the vertical line through, it is in a split terminal. Is that true? The square with a line through. Wait, but... No! This is confusing. How can I go to the other terminal? I can't. That's a problem, and I still need to use my mouse. Shit, now I'm in trouble. Can I do this? Yes. Thanks, by the way. I will try to find the key binding soon, and then I can switch these terminals sometimes. That's fine. Okay, data team is reading. This is the producer. Actually, you know what? We're gonna... Man, look at me. Look at me struggling. It's crazy. And this is going to be the processor, right? Like this. Okay, cool. Go, run, may not go. Okay. No. Yes. Processor, fine. Man, this is confusing. Can you imagine you're a DevOps engineer and you need to do all these terminals? And man, this is a very hard job. Very hard job. Okay, and then this guy is the thing. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, like, I'm not quite sure if they're going to read from all... What? Yeah, one. Damn! They only read from one queue. Now we need... How do we do that? Shit. Placed order. How can we read from the same queue multiple times? Is that even possible? I 100% sure it is. We need a Kafka specialist right now. SAHP. Teamwork to the rescue. It is. Teamwork to the rescue. It's true. But yeah, it is. You're right. Yeah. Damn, we need a specialist because I don't think this guy's reading. Okay, we can try to figure it out. Let's kill everybody. Stop. This guy is basically... I'm not quite sure what this guy's doing. Stop. All right, so that's maybe something. How can we do that? Consumer. Basic usage. Oh, is it? Same group idea. Sergey to the rescue. Is that? I think they have the same group idea, no? Foo. Everybody's the same thing. Look at this. Foo. They have the same group ID, by the way. Auto offset reset smallest. Yeah, that's fine. Let me reboot the music from the beginning. It's all Gucci. I'm pretty sure that you can read from the same queue multiple times, different consumers, because I'm pretty sure the question rather is, how do we do that real quick? Emergency meeting, boys. This is an emergency meeting for the high-value engineers. Who's going to be first? Make it different. I see. That could make sense. This Sergey, man. This guy, he knows his shit. Is this the data team? I have no clue where I am because I'm just copy-pasting everything. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the food data, that's fine, right? Is that true? Is Sergey the hero of the day? Data team. You see, it's so awkward to use my mouse. I feel like a complete idiot by doing this. It's crazy. Data team. Cool. Data team is probably going to read, right? This guy's going to read some junk still in the queue. Yeah, I see. Let's clear it out. And let's run this again. Right. Okay, this guy. There's the processor. Let's do this. Boom. Maybe running a different port. What the hell's going on? Are we... Huh? Wait, let them processing orders. Ah, I see. This is gonna make sense actually. What's happening? Okay, so now the queue is cleared for both of the consumers, and now we can start this guy up, right? And I have this 60% keyboard, so I cannot press easily arrow up. So I need to do some advanced stuff with my thumb and then try to find this. It's a little bit annoying sometimes, but it is what it is. Shit. What's going on? Okay, so now, yeah, this was junk from the past, I guess. Damn, it's not working. It's working. Wait, but... Okay, so we are here. Right, 11. Yeah, 11, yeah. Okay, Sergi, thanks, man. Muchas gracias. Okay, it makes sense that you need to have a different group ID. It makes sense because otherwise it thinks that you already read from it. And then if you have a different group ID, it probably will put you back in the beginning of the queue, which makes a lot of sense. Thank you for that, Sergey Talpuk. So you see, so this is basically what's happening. We have our producer, like a simple scenario, right? Simple replicated scenario where we have producing orders to, could be a gateway, and the gateway is pushing it to a processor which reads from the queue, and then we have the data team, which is basically they have nothing to do with our infrastructure. We don't need anything from them. The only thing they need is just they can hook up in the queue and can process messages, and they can use that for whatever. Most of the time it's being used for data analytics or for to put in some machine learning model or something, right? And the cool thing is that if we are placing orders here, so if we are for example, if the data team goes down, right? The data team goes down. That's very interesting to test, by the way. So now we are placing orders and we are sitting at order 38, right? And then we have our processor is at order 39, which is, they are in sync, but the data team, I don't know what's going on. Big problems. The model was too large, so they needed to do some stuff. And now we can basically, let's clear the screen here. They stopped at 35, but because it's probably not acknowledged, we're going to start at 35 once again, right? I hope so. It's also for me a very long time that I worked in big companies myself, because I think I work... Yeah, you see, 35, so it's perfectly fine. So now everybody's back in sync. Look at this, it's amazing. Kafka is amazing. I'm in love. You see, I want to use it, but I have no use case, right? Maybe if I'm gonna build an exchange sooner or later, I have no clue if that's gonna happen. Maybe I'm probably gonna use Kafka, right? But the thing is, like for the past 5 years, I'm working independently, a lot of in the blockchain space, a lot of for contracting work for blockchain companies, exchanges, a couple times market maker, one of the biggest market makers in crypto, and so I did not. I say. I have not that day-to-day experience with these microservices, with these Kafka, Docker, you know what I mean? I'm very low-level engineer right now. But I remember this from back in the days, you know what I mean? And of course, sometimes I try some stuff and I help some people out, and then this knowledge getting refreshed, right? Make a better FTX. Maybe, man, maybe. Maybe soon there will be. Icebear, have a good night, man. Good sleep. So that's basically it. I think it's not too complicated. I think Kafka can be much more complicated, right? And as you see, a lot of people in the chat already know more than me, which is perfectly fine. That's why we're here, to learn from each other. But the main clue to take away is that even though I'm not a Kafka specialist, implementing something is not a big of a deal. It's just all about knowing patterns, knowing how things work, basically, knowing how a problem is, how you can solve it. And the rest is basically just experimenting a lot, right? Doing a lot of things yourself, trying things out, looking things up, and make it happen. That's it. I'm gonna do some questions. Can be anything, right? Does not need to be what's going on here. Does not need to be about this thing here. Can be anything. Just some Q&A or some chilling, right? Some chilling. But I think Kafka is very important because in the industry, if you're a Golang developer, or even not if you're a Golang, even if you're a developer in general, backend engineer, it could be from time to times, or even now that you know why Kafka, for the people that don't know Kafka or just have heard of it, you can see what you can do with Kafka. You can use that, and you can abuse that in your company if you're basically just an engineer and you want to grow as a lead engineer or as an architect, or if you want to team lead or something. I don't know what you want to do, but knowing these things can help you, because if you see some problems in your job, they need to tackle a problem or they're running into issues, you could suggest, right? That's very important if you want to level up as an engineer. If you keep doing what you do, you will never grow, right? You need to stand up for yourself, and sometimes, even though you're not in a meeting, even though you're not allowed to be in a meeting with the CTO, with all these top guys, right? Wasting their time in a meeting, because that's what meetings do. Meetings are toxic. You need to avoid them. You can say, hey, but listen, there's also something like Apache Kafka, and we can use this, and then it's going to be deterministic, and then if there are problems, we can replay it, and then the data team, they don't need to be in our code, and we don't need to have these clients with each other and open up a stupid CSV file that we need to send to an FTP server, and then the data team need to fetch it. It's a shebang. Why don't we use Kafka? So the data engineering team can just read from the queue and everything is fine, and we can cut out the whole old school legacy FTP server written in fucking Java. Wow. What's your name again? I think I can use you higher up. Come here in my office. Follow me in my office. Let's sign a bigger paycheck for you. You see? That's what you need to do. And by knowing this stuff, you can suggest it, because now you know what it can solve, right? RDT, what project ideas are great for new Golang developers and learn a lot from? To be honest, I think it's for everybody different, but back in the day, I was a very gaming fan, and I always dreamed of creating my own world, right? And it does not need to be 3D, and it does not need to be 2D even, but like having the power of creating something in code. Like you can create a player, you can give it HP, and then you can create a better player with more HP, and you can give these weapons and all that stuff, and you can make them fight in a terminal, you know what I mean, with just a text-based game. That gave me a lot of dopamine back in the day. That was so nice. That, oh yes, and now I'm gonna give him a legendary weapon, and that's gonna be so powerful. And then I'm gonna, yeah, you know what I mean. If you can build that stuff, you will learn a lot, and you will also feel good. You will feel rewarded by doing that stuff, because a lot of these tutorials, what they teach you, making these complex, not complex things, but like a hello world in a terminal where you need to type a calculator, a fucking calculator. That's the classical thing. Nobody gets an erection from a fucking calculator. You know what I mean? That's no. But if you can make a game, you can start very simple in a terminal, and you can iterate upon it and learn stuff, and you're gonna get rewarded. I think that's one of the best things to do. If you're a gaming fan, of course. If you don't like gaming, then yeah, maybe a calculator could be something for you. But I would recommend doing something like a simple game or something like that. That's what I would recommend. That's what I did. And I think a lot of programmers are into gaming or were into gaming, so I think that could be nice for you. And it's gonna reward you so hard. At least that did me. You need to the main clue is basically find something that gives you reward, that triggers your reward system. That's very important, because if you're not triggered, If your reward system is not triggered, if your dopamine levels are not going into the sky, you will quit, right? It's like that. What the hell? That's crazy. Oh yeah, I learned building casino games like that. That's fine, man. That's cool, right? You know what I mean? That's fine. Build a casino. Yeah, that's what you could do. Build a casino in Golang, but just make it in terminal based, where you could don't start hassling. Don't make it too complex. Start in a terminal, and later on you could make it a UI in a web thing or so. But make a casino server, make it a blackjack server, or make a roulette or something. You know what I mean? Or simple casino games. It's just fun, right? It's just fun to do, and then you can give the house some balance. Right, the starting balance, a couple millions, and then you could program your own, I don't know, your own fees, and then you can see, you can simulate players playing slots or something, or playing blackjack, and you can see how much they make, how much you make, and I think that's so cool to do, to see, and you let it run for a couple minutes, maybe for half an hour, and then you come back and you see, what the hell, the casino is wrecked. Then you made a mistake, but you know what I mean? It's just so rewarding, these kind of stuff, that stupid stuff. But it will keep you going, and that's the most important thing. It will keep you fucking going. And it's also so complexity involved, right? So you can start very simple, but you can also make it so complex. So the learning curve, you can make the learning curve, you can adjust your learning curve as you go, Lang. You know what I mean? Yeah, Michael Pinto, exactly. Games are really good to learn programming. Yes, and the reason why is because gaming involves a lot of domain-driven stuff. Because you have a player, you have this, you have a weapon, you have an item, you have an inventory. So it's a very common practice, because with a calculator you have nothing, right? You have I don't know what you have. But with a game you have entities, and that mimics how you would program programs in your real-time job, so to say, right? In your real-life job, because you have entities, and you can call methods. In Golang, it's not methods. Golang, everything is a function, right? Even your struct methods are basically just syntactic sugar. I mentioned this already. It's just syntactic sugar, right? This, I think a lot of people know this, right? So if you have, for example, where's my producer? Main. Some of in the main, right? You have this order placer, right? This func, right? This guy. This is not a method, right? A lot of people call this methods, but that's not true. This is a function, because this is basically the same as place order, and instead of, it's going to be OP pointer to an order placer like this, and then you have order type. It's going to be a string, and you have the size, which is going to be an int, and then an error, right? You see? That's the exact same thing. That's basically what Golang does, right? It's just syntactic sugar, right? That's the same thing what you did in C back in the days, right? If you're coming from C, you made a struct, for example, struct foo, right? Wait, I'm gonna make it in Golang, of course. What am I doing? Type foo, right? Struct like this, and then in C, what you did all the time was this, right? For example, do stuff, and then you had always this f, which was a pointer to foo or something, right? If you want to call something from foo, that's what you did in for example, int or something, right? And then this is, for example, health. We're already making a game. It's going to be an int, right? And then in C you do this, right? F. Man, I'm so confused. Return f health, right? That's what you did in C, right? And that's exactly what you do in Golang, but you have this syntactic sugar with these things, right? But a lot of people don't know that, and that's why I think if you want to learn Golang to new developers, especially new programmers coming from JavaScript, I don't think you... Especially if you want to explain, that's I think going to be my next video, maybe tomorrow. If you want to explain pointers, right? I don't think you can use this to explain pointers, because I think this line of code is so confusing for new developers. Although it's simple if you know what it does, but it's very confusing because they don't understand really what this is. This func, this. They don't understand it, and if you then need to explain pointers, it's not that they are stupid. It's nothing to do with dumbness or stupidness. It's just confusing. Especially if you're coming from JavaScript web developers, they don't know what pointers is, right? They have no clue, which is normal because they never experienced this unless you have some basic computer education, right? Then maybe you know it, but still, also pointers can work in different languages in a complete different way. Well, different way. It's the same, but you know what I mean. So I think you always need to explain pointers with the function I just made here, like this. I think this makes more sense for new developers learning Golang than this thing. I don't even know why they did it. I have no clue. Now that I think about it, what do you guys think? I think it's weird. But now we get used to it, so now it's second nature, of course. But hey, second nature. What's going on here? Clipboard. That's not a good idea. Maybe I just showed a private key, but I don't have crypto, so you can hack me. So yeah, I think tomorrow video about pointers. I'm gonna try to explain it in my way, and you know, my way is always a special way because I don't know. I think some people tell me that I can explain things very well, very simple, but I think it's because I know how people think, because I was just like you. I was just like a lot of other people, right? When you start coding, so I know how you make logical connections. And programming is just all about making logical connections. It's not about being smart. It's all about how can I say this? You can watch, for example, you can watch a video. You can read a book 1,000 times. But it's going to be very hard to make a logical connection. I can't. I don't read books. I read books, but not for programming, because I'm just not that guy. I cannot learn from books, especially not for programming, because they explain it and it's very hard to make this logical connection. And I think the logical connection comes from doing it yourself. From running into an issue and you don't know what's going on, and you know, maybe you're a beginning programmer and the most simple issues takes a long time because you made a simple mistake and it's not working and what is going on, and you're getting frustrated. But then suddenly you see the problem and you fix it, and that's when you make that click, right? And that's basically insane value for you, because that click, you will never forget that. For me, it makes sense, Michael Pinto. Yeah. That's true, that can be, but you need to understand, for a lot of people, it won't. That's the thing. It reads like go to displays in memory and execute this function on that object in memory. Yeah, Michael Pinto, actually, now you say it like that, it makes a lot of sense, right? It makes a lot of sense that you say, go to displays in memory, execute this function. Yeah. But I think it's very important for people to understand that this is just syntactic sugar for this, right? F held, right? You know what I mean? It's very, very important. You need to know the basics, that this is the same as this, right? Right, so this is the first thing you could do, and then it's basically this. Actually, we can make it like this, right? Go will not complain about this. You could say foo, pointer to foo, and we can say do stuff, right? And it's going to return an int. That's the same thing, right? The question rather is, what is it going to do? I don't know. It will just... Because these two are exactly the same, right? It's identical. But the cool stuff is that the compiler just they don't care. Compiler doesn't care about this. Function overload. Actually, it is. You can overload a function, right? Right. Val int, right? And then you could say val. You know what I mean? Actually, this is already. You see? Function overloaded. Hey! No! Yes, right? Of course, you cannot call it on foo, but it's the same function. It's the same thing, but you overloaded it, right? In a certain way, isn't it? A little bit, right? It's a little bit overloading. Make a short out of it. If you want to make a good short, you should make your title Golang has function overload and make this. Yeah, see what people do. See what people do. I don't know. It's gonna be amazing. Post that on Reddit and get pitchforked. Get roasted. Ah. All right. Any more questions? It can be anything. Just shoot your questions. This is your time. This is your moment. This is your opportunity. Now, right now. Let's go. Let's go. Apache Kafka, ladies and gentlemen. Wasn't it amazing? Wasn't it amazing? Snubber and 2 others followed you. Welcome. Thanks, Snubber. Follow me on Twitter. And by the way, follow me on Twitter if you don't, right? Give me more followers because I'm literally a scrub. People laugh at my following. So we can take over the tech space, right? Wait, that's a question. Doesn't gonna interpret it as 2 different functions? Yeah, of course it will, Michael Pinto. But I was just joking a little bit, right? Because technically, they are not the same, and Golang will not treat them as the same. But they are the same. If you think about this, they are exactly the same. They have the same name, but compiler will not quite sure what the compiler does with this thing. And I was thinking of making a stream where yesterday evening I was going in my bed, right? And I'm an HDHD person, so basically when I lie in my bed, I'm still thinking about everything. Like my mind is going in all directions. You know what I mean? Sometimes good, sometimes bad. And I was thinking, hey, maybe I should do a stream where we're gonna fetch the Go source code from GitHub, right? Go source code, and then we're gonna dive in, and we're gonna try to manipulate some stuff. Not quite sure if it's gonna work because I don't know what their compiling process is. Probably a lot of stuff going on, but maybe we could make something. I don't know what you could do there. Just not optimize something, but just implement something funny. You know what I mean? But I first will basically prepare this a little bit so I can see if we can actually compile some stuff without too much hassle. But if we can, then we could add some extra syntax or something, you know, make something cool. That would be a nice stream, I think. Not for everyone, but for the people that love languages and parsers and compilers and all that stuff, that would be nice. So we could, for example, make something like an option or something, right? A lot of people asking for this. And I don't know why. Like, you know what we're gonna discuss? We're gonna discuss because somebody on my videos commented and he said, Go error handling is bad. And I don't think so. I disagree. I completely disagree with that statement. I think Golang error handling is one of the best. This is... Yeah, that's what I think. I think Golang error handling is one of the best. I don't know what it is. What do you guys think? Hi Anthony, Sandy, what is up, man? Was wondering how do you Dockerize your Golang applications? In one of my videos, I already do it in the... Wait. Uno momento, por favor. And I don't speak any decent... I don't speak Spanish or whatever. Wait, let me go to my own YouTube channel and try to find the video. I'm live. Hey, I'm at this thumbnail. What do you think about my thumbnail? Cool, huh? I actually start making thumbnails. I just use my screen and that's it. And now I did some simple stuff. I'm not gonna make my thumbnails anymore stupid with my face and all that stuff and with that keyboard. And I'm gonna do it. I don't care if people don't want to click, then they don't want to click, right? That is what it is. Let me find this video where we actually Dockerize that stuff. Damn. How to build a microservice. I think it's that one. And I have ads, guys. Maybe you're already noticed, but I'm partnered with YouTube, hey, so there are ads. I'm so sorry, but it is what it is. Hey, hey, who's gonna pay my 20 grams of protein? These things that costs money, man. Hey, somebody needs to pay for that. So we're gonna watch this whole ad together. No, it's not. Let's skip it. So this is the building a microservice with Golang stuff, and I think somewhere we are building that Docker file at. Why is this garbage ads, man? Wow, we were watching video. Look at this. Who is this guy? Look at this. Who is this guy? Look at this guy. What a unit. What a fucking unit. What are we doing in this stream, man? What the Docker and JSON. Well, somewhere in this file, there is what's going on, man? Here, this one. Sandeep, I will link it in the chat. Boom. It's a simple Docker file, man. Golang, I was actually trying to build it from scratch where we just built a binary locally and then copy the binary and call it a day, but for some reason it didn't work. The most simple Docker file didn't work, right? And I was trying it for 20 minutes and I called it a day. And then I just did something else. What did I do actually? Let me see. What did I do here with this Docker shenanigans? Here. I did this one. And normally it's very simple. You go from scratch and then you just build it locally, right? And then you just copy the whole thingy and you're done. Copy the binary and then you just run the binary. But it didn't work. You see, and I just said fuck it, man. And then this guy worked, this Alpine. It's a little bit bigger, but still, hey, not big of a deal. Oh, my legs are so sore. Oh. Oh man. Yeah, so error handling in Golang. The last thing we're gonna discuss, right? I think Golang is about one of the best error handling because let's say we have we have a func main, right? So basically, people hate this, right? So we have a function, and there's gonna be a function. Do stuff. I don't know why this is coming up in my head all the time. I'm gonna say do stuff and it's gonna return, for example, a string. Multiple. Actually, yeah, a string is fine. And an int, right? No. Errors. What am I doing? And then basically what you do in this function is basically return, I don't know, foo and null, right? And what people hate is this. They hate if, or basically this, right? Value, right? R equals do stuff, right? Well, because why? Why do they hate this? Because they need to do this if R is not null, right? They hate that. Right, and then you have the value here. Let's print it out for the compiler, right? Print ln the value, right? You know what I mean? They hate that, but I think this is one of the best error handling, because what else are you gonna do? Try catch? Is try catch better then? Huh? What do you wanna do? a try catch thing like this. Try, and you don't return this error, right? You fuck the error, and you say try, and you do a catch. E. I don't understand. Why is this better? It's garbage. This is I hate try catch things in JavaScript. I hate it. What's a better thing then? Then people say, yeah, but Rust has a better thing. Yeah, is it? The old thing I see Rust people do is this, right? No error, but what they do is this: unwrap all the things, unwrap. That's what they do. Look at our error handling. Yeah, of course you unwrap everything. Why it's panicking, right? And then you could say, yeah, but you could pattern match, right? Let's say we have a pattern match. That's what they like. That's what a lot of people like. It's basically if, or maybe match. Let's say match. Match. It's going to be an option or something. I don't know. It's a multiple return. I don't know. Oh no, it's one. It's one. How is it? How it's going to work? It's basically match value like this. So I'm going to try to pseudocode it real quick. It's going to be sum. I don't know how it's... wait, something like that. I don't know. Something like that, right, guys? I'm so sorry that this is... Is this then better? It's the same thing. Why do people hate this error handling? I don't know. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me why people hate the error handling in Golang, which is, in my opinion, one of the best. Because when I write in another language, Python, Rust, Elixir, JavaScript, TypeScript, the whole fucking shebang, the whole family, right? The whole Thanksgiving family. I hate the error handling there. I really hate it. I'm so sorry. I think Golang has one of the best error handling. Changed my mind. Change my mind. Nobody's gonna change my mind. Okay, then we agree. Then we have a mutual agreement. Thank you so much. It looks odd from a new developer perspective, because Golang doesn't have exception. Why? Sergey, why? Why would an exception be good? Why would an exception be good? I don't know. What is an exception? It's an error. It's throw new exception. And the strict like try catch. I don't like try catch. It just clutters up a lot of things. I mean, throwing a new exception is basically saying like, hey, I have an exception, here it is, but whatever you do with it, I don't care. It's actually the same thing with these errors, but these errors are more in your face, right? You have the option to handle it, and you have the option to not handle it. I think it's nice. Because at a certain... Basically, if you look at it in a certain way, this error, this is basically your match on the error, right? If the error is not nil, then you handle the error. Otherwise, continue. I think it's so nice. But hey, maybe I'm basically already brainwashed completely by the language. Could be. You can return the error down the stack in Go as well and handle it. Yeah, of course. Exactly. That's exactly what it is, Michael Pinto. It's a very good point. That's what I do all the time, right? Because sometimes I do like handle. I have a pattern. What I do all the time is like handle message, right? Handle message, whatever you put into it, and this is gonna return, for example. Let's say this is going to return an error, right? And then let's say do stuff. Who cares? It's going to return an error. Just like that. Return null, right? So you don't need to handle the error do stuff here unless if you don't need to, right? You could just return do stuff, right? So who's gonna handle it? That's up to you. That's on you to decide. So I think it's super clean, this stuff. But hey, yeah, Sandeep, true. Golang error handling forces you to handle the error as it happens. That's true. Although most of the time you can also ignore it. But like I said, I think it's such a good practice to do that, because from a reading perspective, it's also nice to see, because let's say in another language you have this, right? You could say int, right? Handle message int. That's going to return an int. But right, let's say you don't see this code, right? Let's go upstairs, right? And you see this, and the rest is mucked, for example, right? You don't see it. So you see handle message int, but you don't know is there an error? Is this function going to return an error? Is it even possible to create an error in this function? We don't know, but you could throw an exception somewhere down the line at line 9010 or something. There is you throw an exception there, but you don't know. But if in Golang, you explicitly know that you're going to return an integer and an error, which is important because that basically means you know that this function can or will return an error if something is not right. I think it's just nice to see. Arda, plus it's more. Yeah, wait. I think I missed some. Wait, I'll pick the result TE. Yes, I see. Over goes error handling every day. Plus, it's more functional programming friendly. You can still use computation on result type without explicitly checking the error. You have a point. Yeah. But that's the result TE. Yeah, I see. Result TE, which is basically the same thing what we do, right? Because a result TE, something like this, is basically, right? Could be the same as here, right? Because that's what we have, right? This is a result TE, while the T is an int, right? Of course, I understand what you mean, Arda. In Rust, you can do stuff with your result without explicitly need to check the error, so it can be encapsulated in one variable. That's true. And pattern matching, I love pattern matching. That's very, and there are a lot of cool stuff in functional languages, especially. I like Rust, right? I like Rust because I write it myself from time to time. But yeah, some things are good, some things are bad. There is no such thing as a best language. It will never happen, because what works for you doesn't work for me, and vice versa. To be honest, actually, I think if Golang can improve a little bit on that, maybe a result T like this, right? This option. But I think Go is fine where it is, because it's so minimalistic that it's easy to read for new developers. It's easy to write for new developers. It's easy to write for open source, because everybody can jump in and commit and do stuff. And it scales very well in large companies, just for the sake of it's so easy to read and to onboard new developers, right? So I think Golang needs to stay where it is. And yeah. And you can clearly see that Arda is more, Arda is more of a, he's more on a scientific level, right? You can see that, yes, is very good in these mathematical stuff. You can see that. I already noticed it, because sometimes he sent me a message and he's talk, or he chats in my chat, and then I can see, this Arda he's on a high level, right? He knows his stuff. He's on a smart guy, a very smart guy. Michael Pinto, that's a good question. You can do that now with using the generics. That's true, right? You could say, you could make that, right? You could say type, but still, the question is, handling that type is not going to solve our problems. You will see, right? You could have, let's say, a type result, right? And it's going to be a struct. We're going to give this actually, I think it's like this, right? T any, yeah, that's it. Wait. Yeah, because the error is going to be an error. Is that true? Let's say value is going to be t, and then the error. Something like that. Right? The problem is that there is no clean way to construct this, right? You could say new result, but that's... Unless you... The problem is you cannot make this clean. You could say it returns a result. Actually, it is. Let me quickly see what's going on here. Yeah, but then you need to do... Look, I don't... Man, you see that it's nasty, right? You could say it's going to be a value, going to be a string. Not quite sure. And then the edge could be, I don't know, null. Value string, what the hell am I doing? Wait, do I miss something here? Can we do this? How does it work? Okay. How are you gonna handle this, man? Don't you need an E on the struct as well? But the E is gonna be an error for sure, right? We know that. Right? Because in Go an error is an error. A result is gonna have a value which is generic, but it's always gonna have an error type. You know what I mean? And because error is an interface, that means that you can actually make your own error type. And still, you don't need to provide another type because it's the error interface which just needs this function attached to something, right? And it returns a string. So it's going to be something like this, right? Result, right? How are you going to check this, right? What are you going to do then? You could say result per value, but it's not too stiff. It's handle message. What the fuck am I doing? Time to sleep. Can I do this? Why is this? Can I not do this? I can't. This is so weird. Now you need to check the same thing, right? How are you gonna do this? You can say if result.r, right? I mean, you see, it's not going to solve any problem, right? It's going to be the same problem as long you really need this pattern matching baked into the compiler. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. People have these libraries, right? I already see these libraries on GitHub. It's basically complete garbage because as long as you don't have pattern matching baked in as a syntax, it doesn't. It makes things more complex than they already are. It's not going to solve anything, right? It's not going to solve anything. All right. I think I'm going to wrap the stream up. And as usual, guys, if you like the content, but I think everybody's already subscribed, but for the people that are rewatching this video and already keep watching 2 hours, that's... Hey, if you watch this stream in a replay and you're here for you watch this for 2 hours, you're a fucking legend. Consider subscribing. give me a thumbs up and leave some questions in the comments. Jump into the Discord, the whole shebang. Arda, I see where this is going and I can understand the motive, but still, it's still a strict, yes. And definitely error prone. We can still have a non-nil error and val. It's true, Arda. I don't like the way I was just for demonstration purposes. This type of result, right? It's basically complete garbage. It doesn't solve anything unless because we don't have these baked-in semantics into the language. So it's just creating an extra complexity for people, and it doesn't solve a single thing. So that's why I think Golang errors are fine. But of course, because people really hate it, I think it could be odd for new developers, but still, I think it's a good way, a good practice. Hey, bye. So thanks everyone for watching. I much appreciate it, and I see you soon. I see you soon on the next stream, next video, or in the Discord. All right? Thanks for watching. See y'all. Bye-bye.